Welcome to my video on class 7 science chapter 1 nutrition in plants. In this chapter we will study the mode of nutrition in plants as well as the process of photosynthesis in which plants capture energy from sunlight and converts carbon dioxide and water into food molecules. So let's start the chapter. Before starting this chapter we need to understand few concepts which we have learned in class 6 chapter 1 and chapter 2. Food, where does it come from, and components of food. In those chapters we learned about the food types and the sources of food as plant sources and animal sources, and the components of food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. And we understood that these components are very essential for our growth and survival, and if we are not getting proper nutrition, then we can get some disease also. Apart from these two chapters I need to recall one more chapter from class 6 science which is very much essential to understand the process of photosynthesis in plants or the nutrition in plants, because that was about getting to know plants, chapter 7. So that chapter gave us some idea about the structure of plant. So if you want to study any process in plant, we need to be familiar with the structure of plant. So a plant have two parts, one is above ground part and the another one is below ground part. So the below ground part is called root, and the function of root is to absorb minerals and waters from the soil, and the above ground part is called shoot, and it contains stem, branches, leaves and fruits and flowers also. The process of photosynthesis by which plants make their own food happens in the leaves. Leaf is the site of photosynthesis. So we need to understand the structure of leaf in more detail. Before getting those details, we need to understand one thing, that plants appear green because of green leaves in most of the times, and leaves appear green because of a chemical pigment which is called chlorophyll. And that where does this chlorophyll present in cells, in leaf cells? Before understanding the structure of leaf, we need to have some idea about cells. What are cells? We will study about cells in detail in the class 8, which we are going to study next year. But before that we need a little idea. So what is a cell? Every living organism, either plant or animal or any other creature, is made up of tiny small chambers. Those chambers are called cells. Like a wall is made up of bricks, and these cells are the unit of life. Every process related to living things happens in these cells. These cells are nothing but tiny chambers filled with a fluid which is called cytoplasm, and apart from that, these cells also have some sub compartments, small, very small compartments also, and those compartments are called cell organelles. And most of the cell organelles are quite similar in plant cells and animal cell. In this diagram, the blue one is the typical version of an animal cell, and the green one is a plant cell, typical version. So there is a difference between plant cell and animal cell. What is the difference? This plant cell have this cell organelle which is called chloroplast, and animal cells do not have any chloroplast, and this chloroplast is the chamber within plant cells which have chlorophyll. Now we can say that the leaves of plants are made up of cells, and those cells having chloroplast, and those chloroplast have the pigment chlorophyll, and that is why leaves appear green and they are able to perform photosynthesis. Now in this structure we can see so many structures. Let's do not go into that much of details, but have a general idea that the upper skin and the lower skin of a leaf having tiny chambers which are epidermal cells, or the skin of the cells of skin of leaf. And here we can notice one another structure which is stomata, tiny holes in the skin of leaves, and there are more stomata in the lower skin of trees. We can see the difference if we observe any plants leaf, that the upper surface is dark green and the lower surface is light green. That light green surface has more stomata in general. Now apart from that, it have some tubes like structures. These structures are called vascular bundle, which is composed of xylem and phloem. We will study later in this class. And the most important thing is mesophyll, mesophyll, mesophyll cells, which are stuffed between these two skins, and these cells appear oval shaped to roughly spherical shaped, and these cells have tiny green dots. You can see these dots are chloroplast, which we have seen in the structure of plant cell. Okay, then now we can have an idea about how a leaf looks like internally. Two skins, one skin with more pores which are called stomata, and something filled in between those skins, which is mesophyll cells. Actually mesophyll cells are the site of photosynthesis because they contain chloroplast, which contains chlorophyll. Now let us discuss the process of photosynthesis, but before that have some idea of what food does with creatures. So we all need food to build our bodies, to grow, to repair damaged parts of our bodies, and to gain energy for day to day tasks. So all these things that if we are saying that by the food we are growing or we are building our bodies, it means that we are multiplying our cells to grow our body. Or if we are healing ourselves from any damage, then we can see, okay, we are multiplying ourselves to heal ourselves. And if you are saying that we are getting energy from food, then it means that our cells are capturing that food and burning that food to provide energy. So every process in the living world can be traced within the cells. So let's start our chapter, mode of nutrition in plants. So mode of nutrition in plants can be seen of two types, or in organisms can be seen of two types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic, this word contains two parts. Auto means self and trophos means nourishment. Autotrophs are those creatures which are able to make their own food, and the another term is heterotrophic, heterotrophs, and here hetero means other. So autotrophs are able to make their own food and heterotrophs are not able to make their own food, and that is why they are dependent on other creatures for their food. So generally plants are autotrophs, not all, but in general plants are autotrophs, and animals including humans are heterotrophs. Now the process of photosynthesis. So the process of photosynthesis require few materials. And what is the purpose of photosynthesis? First we understand. The purpose of photosynthesis is to make glucose molecules or carbohydrate molecules by the carbon dioxide which is present in air and by the water which is present in soil. So plants capture water from soil and carbon dioxide from air and then reshuffle these molecules to make carbohydrates plus water. For this reshuffling, plants require energy, and that energy plants get from sun, and to capture that energy they need a pigment molecule which is called chlorophyll, and obviously chlorophyll is present in green leaves, and that is why plants with green leaves are able to perform photosynthesis. So by performing photosynthesis, plant needs some machinery to capture water from soil, and that machinery is called root and stem, and they are interconnected with tiny tubes within them, and those tubes are called xylem and phloem, or commonly vascular bundle. So by their tubes leaves are also connected. So from root to stem to leaf, leaves are able to get groundwater. Then leaves have tiny pores, and by those tiny pores plant is able to, or leaves are able to absorb the carbon dioxide from air. They are able to exchange gases from air, not only carbon dioxide, but after performing photosynthesis plants also producing oxygen gas. So oxygen also they are exhaling by these pores. So this is how plants structures are connected to perform photosynthesis. So in this diagram we can see these two red spheres which denotes the gas oxygen, which is composed of O plus O. There are two O atoms, and this symbol represents carbon dioxide. Red ones are denoting oxygen and black one is denoting carbon. So in this diagrams clearly summarize the process of photosynthesis, that carbon dioxide is inhaled by the plant, sun energy is inhaled by the plants, and then water is inhaled by the plant and making sugars and producing oxygen gas. So let's read this description of this to having better idea. Photosynthesis is the process by which plants prepare their own food by using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll. Photosynthesis takes place in the leaves, we all know. Sunlight is obtained from the sun, water is absorbed by the roots and transported to the leaves by the stems and tiny tubes. Carbon dioxide is taken from the air, simple. And chlorophyll are the green pigments present in leaves and which is helpful for capturing sunlight. Now we can write a chemical equation to understand this process. Carbon dioxide plus water reshuffled into carbohydrate plus oxygen in the presence of sunlight, and who will capture sunlight? The chlorophyll. And this diagram is clearly summarizing this process. Okay. Now we have idea about plant cells and animal cells. This is the internal anatomy in three-dimensional way of a leaf. Here we can clearly see that upper skin is having one layer cuticle, and then upper epidermis means upper skin made up of skin cells or epidermal cells. Lower skin is having stomata. Here we can see stomata by the outside. Here two cells we can see. These two cells are called guard cells. So these two cells are called guard cells. Two cells, one cell and two cells are called guard cells, which makes the stomata and which regulates the entry in and out of carbon dioxide and oxygen. And the another one is showing very clearly the function of stomata, inhaling the carbon dioxide and exhaling the oxygen after photosynthesis. So mesophyll cells you can see are the cells having chloroplast, and here blue and red tiny pores you can see are the vascular bundles from front view within the cells. These are actually veins in leaf. You can see the veins veins in leaf, you have studied in class 6th. So these structure helps in photosynthesis, and this is another diagram which helps us better understanding, having better understanding, because these are stomata. If we see leaf by microscope, we will also learn perform an activity in biology lab to see stomata under a compound microscope, and this is a two-dimensional view of that diagram. Here you can see upper epidermis, lower epidermis, mesophyll, air spaces to hold carbon dioxide plus oxygen, and stomata for exchange. And wax cuticle is a protective layer in some plants. In many plants it is present, in some plants it is not. So this is the brief summary and understanding of photosynthesis. Now we are able to understand that animals are heterotrophs and plants are autotrophs in general. So all animals are directly or indirectly getting their nutrition from plants. For example, a herbivore or grazer or grass eating animal eating raw plants, and a carnivore or meat eater animal is eating herbivores or grazers. So ultimately meat eating animal is also dependent on plants. So we humans, it does not matter that we are getting food from plant resource or animal resource, we are ultimately dependent on plants. And plant itself is dependent on the sun for the energy for making its own food. So here is an cyclic process. After getting food from any resource, our body digests this food, and this food is channelized to our cells by the blood stream, and then our cells utilizes this food to get energy, and that process is called respiration or cellular respiration. We will learn about that later, but now here is a brief understanding that plants are performing photosynthesis, and in this process they are modifying carbon dioxide into carbohydrates and utilizing carbon dioxide plus water. and in the process of respiration animals are using these carbohydrates to make again carbon dioxide and breathing oxygen to burn that carbohydrates. So it is a cyclic process. Animals are exhaling carbon dioxide and plants are inhaling carbon dioxide, and plants are exhaling oxygen and animals are breathing oxygen, and this is how transfer of energy happens. And ultimately all creatures are having their energy from sun, and that is why it is called that sun is the ultimate source of energy. And when there is one saying also that all the life on this planet earth is bottled sunshine. So here our topic ends, and the other topic of our next video will be the other modes of nutrition in plants. There are other plants also which are not able to perform photosynthesis, or they are, if they are not heterotrophs, they are partially heterotrophs also. There are some plants also which are performing photosynthesis, but sometimes they are not able to get complete nutrition from their photosynthesis. So we will discuss that in our next video. Thank you so much for your patient listening.